no matter what, like, I feel like no matter what women are saying on that app, there's still going to be a level of them that's still going to fool with that same man that they're complaining about on that app.
For sure.
So, and no matter what advice they receive, no matter what another woman tells them bad about that guy.
There's women and men all over the world that like are fooling with people that they've been proven are not good for them, and they've probably had whoever their circle of people are say this is not good for you, and they're still doing it.
Yeah.
Like, so, you know, there's always been a weird dynamic with that you know, people kind of keep gravitating toward each other when they shouldn't. But, you know, for some people, I don't know what the end goal is, because if you're that person who's still going to fool with the toxic person, it is what it is. I also feel, though, that if you're so fixated on kind of this information about these people that you may be dating or may be connecting with early on, like, you're not ever going to be in a position to really connect with anybody.
So you got this T app thing. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
All right. So the T app here, number one is the number one app on the App Store right now. This is a women only app where users anonymously share info and warnings about men to spot red flags and get feedback. I actually did a little research.
I was talking to my coworker, and apparently there's like a Facebook thing. Mm-hmm. And I think it's
Facebook dating.
Are we dating the same guy?
It's
group. Like a group or something,
group, yeah.
And like, so they'll post a picture, and people that, you know.
I've heard of that too.
So this is a little bit similar concept.
Yeah. But okay. it's instead of a Facebook group, it's an app, and they probably have some of that going on too.
Yeah.
But then also it's like they're sharing, you know, whatever tips and experiences, and things like that, and then they're basically giving them advice and talking about red flags and posting pictures of the guys that they're dating, and like it probably, you know, some of that too is like, okay, are you dating this guy? Or whatever, and what is your you know, they're doing catfish verifications on you know what I mean, background checks. Okay. All they're doing. So
it's kind of really thorough.
Yeah. Now, I've been told that it's a little silly. I know some women that have been on there. And it gets a little silly, but they are serious on there, man. They're doing their due diligence on these guys out here.
Okay.
Now men have recently, they said, created their own app. So, you know, to combat that. Now, I wonder, how can a man infiltrate the app? Because how do you know if it's really a woman or not? I guess you could create a fake profile and all of that. So how are you really managing that?
Or you could go in under a female, you know.
That too.
Like if you knew, like you could use your sister. Like you could just go in as like whatever, all of her date of birth information that they need to verify she's a woman, give a picture, and then maybe they let you in that way.
Yeah.
So how long before there's a significant infiltration rate? No, I'm serious about that.
Seriously, yeah. Has to be soon. Yeah. I don't know, but I don't know. I don't really. It doesn't really do anything for me. It's like the further along we get in life, it's like, okay, it seems like they're trying to push women to lesbianism, but it's like, you know, it's just it's always going to be the man and women and they're women, like, no matter what, like, I feel like no matter what women are saying on that app, there's still going to be a level of them that's still going to fool with that same man that they're complaining about on that app.
For sure.
So, and no matter what advice they receive, no matter what another woman tells them bad about that guy.
There's women and men all over the world that like are fooling with people that they've been proven are not good for them, and they've probably had whoever their circle of people are say this is not good for you, and they're still doing it.
Yeah.
Like, so, you know, there's always been a weird dynamic with that you know, people kind of keep gravitating toward each other when they shouldn't. But, you know, for some people, I don't know what the end goal is, because if you're that person who's still going to fool with the toxic person, it is what it is. I also feel, though, that if you're so fixated on kind of this information about these people that you may be dating or may be connecting with early on, like, you're not ever going to be in a position to really connect with anybody. You whatever, you meet somebody on an app, you meet somebody in person, and then you run them through this thing, and instead of like, and I'm not saying people aren't dishonest with each other, because they are, but you're gonna start like obsessing over this data that you can find, and that's gonna be kind of pushing against whatever connection you may or may not be building with that person. And I do think it's at the end of the day, it's not necessarily helpful. I mean, it may, in certain circumstances, help a person, who just can avoid a situation, but it's really an avoidance tool, not a connecting tool.
Yeah, that was the point of me bringing that up. Yeah, because that's a good way to put it. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, I do have two more quick things. Hopefully, I can fit them in. Let me know. Do you have anything on this?
Trump administration releases. No.
No, I didn't even really know what that was about until today. The Trump administration with the MLK, and for our audio listeners here.
I mean, why is he doing it? He's doing it to take heat off of himself because of the Epstein stuff and his connection to it. So because
correct me if I'm wrong. Before he was elected, he promised to release that stuff.
He promised to release Epstein, JFK, he promised to release everything. But he's a lying sack of shit with no intention of doing this. And the reality is, if he's not in the crosshairs of the Epstein thing now, this is not released. This is a complete distraction. That's all it is.
It's like a what is that? What do they call it? Bait and switch or whatever. It's like,
it's not even a bait and switch.
I'm throwing a rock over here. Yeah.
Everyone's looking at me, but it's like, oh wait, look over there.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just a distraction.
Yeah.
And it's a cheap, useless distraction. Again, I don't know what's in there. I mean, it's documented that J. Edgar Hoover was, tracking him, tapping his phones, uncovered him in some various affairs and different things like that. I don't know what else new is there.
Yeah, and it's just no impact now. Like, but it doesn't take away, because I did read some of those things, and that's all that I took away from it. He was MLK was getting it in, man. He was a whore. He was a whore, and that's what it was, because that is what they were doing, tapping his phones. They were, they had people out there watching his hotels.
That's been known forever.
But that's been known. But it was it was rumored, and I guess, and especially if you're living in those times, like if it's a rumor versus that, I guess people weren't. It never stuck to MLK though, because especially in the black community, because in the black community, a lot of like black women, they hate whores. They hate male whores. They're not going to support a male whore no matter what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I know that it didn't stick, because any male whore they're going to defile. And
but the other problem is you're talking about a dead male whore.
No. I'm talking about in that time.
Oh,
so I'm saying, so that's why it was just rumored.
No, but okay, I get like back
so
in the 60s.
Now, so I'm saying now, like you're saying now, I don't think it has any impact.
No, I agree. Yeah, no. And when I I was born in 1971. I mean, I know that it was accepted fact by probably the 80s at least. It took, like, as I'm growing up, you knew those things happened. JFK too was banging a bunch of people back in the 60s.
Yeah.
It just was the way it went down in the 60s. Probably still today. But yeah, so like, again, it doesn't, you're talking about like a legacy. You're not talking about somebody that like Shannon Sharp or Diddy that's alive, and we now have to consider how we're going to regard them the next time we have to see them.